Hey guys, what's going on? Sherman here. Today I want to talk a little bit about the Blackhawk Serpa holster. Now, I got one for myself for daily carry. Now, I didn't get it for concealed carry. It is not a concealed carry holster, so if you're looking into concealed carry, you're going to want to rule the Serpa holster out completely. As you can see on me right now, it doesn't exactly conceal very well because of its bulky design, but that's not an issue. What it is an excellent open carry holster. If you're into open carry, or if you're on your own private property like I am right now, you can carry it without worry. So it's an excellent holster in that capacity. Now, after I bought it, I looked up a bunch of videos on YouTube. I watched a bunch of reviews. I looked up and read a bunch of reviews on it. And I heard a lot of complaints from people saying that it was, quote unquote, holster of death. And it's responsible for a lot of negligent discharges. Well, I just wanted to throw my 2 cents in on that and just talk a little bit about this holster. Number one, if you have a negligent discharge, it's very rarely due to a malfunction with the firearm or with the holster. And talking about this, it's going to bring up probably a subject with a lot of people that I'm going to shed some light on. That's the Tex Grebner scenario, or the Tex Grebner incident, rather. If you don't know who that is, he's a YouTuber here in the knife and gun community. If you know who he is, you probably know him very famously from his viral video, I Just Shot Myself. If you heard that, you've probably seen the video. He went on the show Tosh.0, got a redemption for it, whatnot. Anyway, and if you guys have just heard about that and you think he's an idiot and all that kind of stuff for shooting himself in the leg, let me tell you the whole story. What happened is that Tex Grebner was used to a Serpa holster just like this, and I'm going to show you in detail in just a minute, but if you don't know anything about it, has the push button right here. He was so used to the Serpa holster, he's fired thousands of rounds from it, probably from the draw and fire position. Well, after that, he got a thumb drive holster, which instead of a push button right here, it has a button right behind on this side of the grip where the mag release would be. So he was practicing with that, and so used to the Serpa, he was applying positive pressure down on this button right here. In doing so, that wasn't obviously the right way to do it. You're supposed to push your thumb down with this particular holster. So he was applying positive pressure right here, which is right where the trigger would be if this was out of the holster. And he was pressing it so hard, nothing was happening. So finally, when his thumb did hit the button and retracted his firearm, his finger was already in a hooked position, causing a discharge and blasting himself right through the thigh. So I give the guy a lot of respect for uploading the video in the name of safety. Train with your firearms and your holsters, guys. It's not a laughing thing, it's not a laughing matter, it's nothing to be taken lightly. Train with your holsters and train with your systems. Especially something like this Serpa holster. And what I can tell you from a lot of the reviews and videos that I've seen, it's only an issue with people who have basic to no firearm safety or training or anything of the sort. And I'm going to show you why. Alright, just to show you guys, no magazine. Weapon is unloaded, just for a lot of you safety nuts out there. And but this is the way you should be doing this kind of thing anyway. You're not going to want a round in the chamber. So this is the Serpa holster. Now, this isn't a full-blown review. This is just my opinions on the holster, basically. But if you've seen the holster, it comes with this paddle that's for inside the waistband. It also comes with an attachment to wear on the belt. Just the belt. I don't prefer that attachment. The weight's distributed kind of odd. With the paddle, the weight's distributed on your body and from the waistband of your pants and the belt. So it's got the full support of your belt and the waistband of your pants. Whereas if you have the belt attachment, this weapon is just supported by, well, the belt. So if something happens to the belt, your firearm's on the ground. So anyway, this is just my preference. So if you've never seen the Serpa holster, or you've seen it but don't know what it does, this is the mechanism right here that releases the firearm. It's a retention holster. There's a lock inside of it. You cannot pull this firearm out. That's why it's an excellent open carry holster, because nobody can come up behind you and grab your firearm from you, and there's no way it can fall out. No, I was not pointing that at my face. So I just want to eliminate those comments. So it is a very tight retention. And I love that for open carry. You can go out in the woods with this and you're not going to have to worry about anything happening to your firearm. The problem people are having with this firearm is they're getting negligent discharges from that. Now what that is just they're discharging a round that's not on target. Like what happened to Tex Grebner, he discharged a round into his thigh. Now that could have potentially killed him, and he could have hit somebody else. So it's a serious thing, guys. What this is, it is a button right here, and you press it down with your finger. Now, like I said, if you are trained properly, when you're grabbing your firearm, your finger is always going to be right here. Because when you grab a firearm, finger on the side and never in the trigger guard unless you are pointing this firearm downrange and firing at a target. Or, as I just did, decocking the weapon. So, it is no different. When you're grabbing this, while it's in the holster and retracting it from the holster, your finger should already be right here. You're going to want to train with that. If you're not familiar with firearms, you're always going to want to train finger right here on the side of the weapon. Resting either on the trigger guard, which I don't prefer. I rest it on the frame like that. It's just very natural. It should always be natural to you. When you grab and pick up a firearm, this grip should always be natural. So same goes for this holster. When you have it on you and you grab it, your finger should always be right here. And you're just going to apply pressure downward towards that button. It releases the lock, allowing you to pull out the weapon. Like I said, the problem most people are having with this, that have had a problem with it, is that now this is very natural. This is natural if you're not familiar with firearms and you're not properly trained. It's natural to want to push a button like this with your index finger hooked. Now, obviously what that's going to do is if you do that, your finger is already in the position to go inside the trigger guard and press, commonly known as the bang switch, the trigger. Like I said, that is not a good thing. That you should never do that. Because accidents happen and accidents can kill people. So don't do it, guys. So I'm just saying, you should not do that, because you're gonna have to apply a considerable amount of pressure to do this. And if your trigger has a very light trigger pull, it's not going to take much. Now, this weapon has a safety. If you're using a Glock or any kind of other pistol that only has a trigger safety, you're already pretty much in the bad there. So when your only safety is on the trigger, obviously it's going to be very easy to reach your hand back there and bang. So always practice grabbing your firearm, index finger extended, resting on the frame. So if you're already trained into grabbing your pistol like this, the Blackhawk Serpa holster is going to be perfect for you, because it's just the perfect natural grip. You see my finger doesn't move. So, great holster. It is great for open carry. Like I said, this is not a concealed carry holster because it is very wide. It's very bulky. But like I said, if you've been hearing a lot of things about it being unsafe, this holster is only unsafe to people who are not properly trained in the safety of a firearm. And in my opinion, if you have a problem with this holster, you probably shouldn't own a firearm to begin with. Learn proper firearm safety. So, that's my 2 cents and a little bit about how the Serpa holster works. Hope you guys enjoyed the video, maybe learned something. Hope you have a great rest of your day. Stay safe, stay sharp, and God bless. Sherman 614, peace.